So what does the weight loss industry say about our industry and losing weight that's completely so wrong? Eat less calories. I know, I know the science says it. The science says to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. Yes, but a lot of people are not eating enough food to even survive. There's a concept called it's your resting metabolic rate. And so if you are eating less than what your resting metabolic rate is, and this is something I learned this from Dr. Hyman, Mark Hyman. So your resting metabolic rate is the minimum amount of calories that you need to survive. So this is just if you were just to sit here all day, that's how much calories that you would be burning naturally. But if you are eating less than that, if you are in an extreme calorie kind of restricting yourself, your body will do the opposite of what you want it to do. If your goal is to lose weight, but you're not eating a lot, you won't lose weight because your body will go into starvation mode. If you're eating less than your resting metabolic rate, your body, it signals to your body like, hey, I'm not getting enough to survive. And so if you're not getting enough to survive, like let's just even think about it like this. So your body is doing everything that it possibly can to keep you alive. Your body is innately, it wants to do good, even if we're at war with our body saying, oh, like, why aren't you losing this weight? Your body's trying to like keep you alive. And so if you are inherently not eating enough every single day to keep it quote unquote alive, which is hitting that minimum resting metabolic rate, your body will say, okay, I'm in starvation mode. So anything that I eat, and if I don't expend that energy, I'm going to save for later. I'm going to save that energy. I'm going to store it up because I don't know when the next thing is coming in. And so that's just like, it's insane kind of how cool that is for our body to say, okay, like, I got you. Like, I'm going to keep us alive, girl. But if we listen to the diet industry, and if the diet industry is constantly saying, you got to eat less, you got to eat less, you got to be in a calorie deficit, but we're too far under a deficit, then what our body does is, okay, I don't know when the next meal is going to come, so I need to store this as energy. And the way that our body stores energy is as fat. And so I've had clients come to me and say, Katie, I'm hardly eating, but I'm not losing the weight. And I tell them, you need to eat more. You need to eat more. And they get terrified. They're like, what? No, I want to lose weight. Why do I need to eat more food to lose weight? It doesn't even make sense. That's the diet industry. It's it's just bullshit, honestly. And I know this is hard because, again, it's so much simpler to just say, okay, eat less calories, exercise more. It doesn't work like that, though, if you're not eating the right amount for your specific body. So again, just focus on, so the best way, again, and I got this from Dr. Mark Hyman, to figure out what your resting metabolic rate is to, if you are a kind of a moderately active person, it's take your body weight and times it by 10. If you are really active, take your body weight and times it by 13. And then if you are a little bit more overweight, kind of more in the obese range, it's take your body weight and multiply it by 8. Granted, though, these are just numbers. So these aren't a rule of thumb. None of my clients that I want them to go through is be like, okay, I have to hit this specific number, because I really do truly believe if you're focusing just on that number, you're going to stress yourself out. And what happens when we get stressed out is that we actually turn on our stressed out hormones. When our stressed out hormones are going, it's physically impossible for us to lose weight. So I just give these numbers out just for you to kind of see, are you hitting that number, that resting metabolic rate? And it's just a guesstimation. Guess, just a guess. Let's stick with that, Katie. Don't go too crazy with words. So it's just kind of getting your mindset, am I eating enough? And then it's just playing around too with, okay, do I feel good when I'm eating these foods? Do I have high energy? Do I feel like in an hour, in 2 hours, I need to eat or take a nap? Then if that's the case, then you're not eating the right types of food. And that also goes into, so I want to share also this Eat Smarter by Shawn Stevenson. Calories, again, he mentions and he talks about it, how calories is just It's such a bad kind of formation of how we can look at healthy eating and being in a calorie deficit. So what he talked about too, which was really cool, is that there's the complexity of the digestive system and that you actually expend energy digesting the food that you're eating. So it's not like you just kind of insert 100 calories and it's in your stomach and in your body. It actually talks about digesting, you have to burn calories to digest certain foods. And so, for instance, he talks about the type of food specifically itself determines how many calories that you burn when you're eating it, which is I thought was really cool because I always just kept thinking of, okay, if like I knew calories wasn't specific and it's the type of calories that you're eating, but I didn't really understand what that meant. And it's just talking about, okay, protein is the hardest for our body to digest. And so it takes more energy. So it takes about 20 to 30% of the calories that come in to digest it, which again, I thought was really cool of just looking at, okay, if I eat 100, let's keep this simple. If I eat 100 calories of protein, I actually burn 20 to 30% of that. So 20 to 30 calories just simply digesting the protein. Versus carbs is about 5 to 10% it takes to burn the carbs. So if I was to eat 100 calories of a carb, I'll take, it's 5 or 10 calories. So I'm only taking in 95 or 90 calories if I ate 100 calories of carbs versus I would only be intaking 80% or 80 calories. Jesus, math numbers are not my thing, but 80 calories of a protein. And so this is where too, like, raise your hand if anybody's ever been like, okay, I can only eat 1,200 calories, and so I'm going to do 100 calories or 800 calories of this, and then 100 calories of this special K bar, and then da 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 da. And now it just makes sense. I knew I was more protein. I enjoyed protein. Protein was a higher kind of energy for me, but I didn't know why. And now even just knowing the science, I'm like, okay, that's even a bigger why of why I need to make sure that I always have protein at my meal, because I know my body is burning more energy, and energy is just, that's my personal focus is how do I have high energy throughout the day? And I know I have high energy when I'm burning energy and fueling my body with good energy foods and all this stuff. So if you're saying, Katie, I am hardly eating, but I've been at the same weight for years, you might not be eating enough. So that's my message to you, is I want you to be eating more, but I want you to be eating more of the right kinds of foods. So if you don't know what the right kind of foods are for your body specifically, let's talk. This is what I do. I love helping my clients just figure out what feels good for them. And it's not completely overhauling your diet on day one. That's not sustainable, and I don't want you to just be like, okay, I need to go on a meal plan for the rest of my life. I want you to naturally figure out and build up your own intuition of what feels good for your specific body type and your specific lifestyle. So if this is something that you're interested in, if you've been eating a limited amount of calories for the last 10 years, 5 years, even the last year, and you're not seeing the weight loss results that you want, you might not be eating enough and you might not be eating the right specific types of food for your specific body type. So let's talk. I have a free one-on-one coaching session where we really do dive in on, okay, what is it that you want for your body, for your confidence, for your health? And we get nitty gritty on what specifically is stopping or slowing you down. And then we come up with, hey, what is the best next step specifically for you?